Hey everybody, welcome back to I Know a Guy. Today we're meeting with Sylvia Barr. She's a brain strategist and a business mentor. She's been doing it for 5 years. How you doing today, Sylvia?
I'm great. How are you, Anthony?
Oh, pretty good. It's looking like we're finally going to start cooling down here, so I'm really,
Yeah.
really ready for that fall weather. We had a taste of it, and then it got
Uh-huh.
really hot for some unknown reason, and then it,
Yeah.
it it got hopefully it's getting cool again. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Lovely colors out there starting to show.
yeah, the trees are starting to turn colors, the leaves are starting to fall. So yeah, it's definitely starting to feel like that season now. So
Beautiful.
yeah, how about you? Where are you calling in from?
So I'm calling from a place called Chichester, which is in the south of England. Yeah, so it's like a pretty typical rainy autumn day here. Good rain, yeah. It looks a bit kind of a bit like these summer rains, like very quiet and not like blustery and stuff. So it's okay. It's not cold.
I got you. Are you originally from the area, or are you newer there, or?
No, you may hear that I'm actually from France, although it's gonna be 30 years next year that I've been living in England. But I'm originally, yeah, from the north of France,
Mhm.
place not far from Calais.
Okay, so 30 years, away from France, and you just can't get over that little bit of an accent, right? It's just permanent.
No, 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 no. It's gonna stick forever.
Well, it's a good thing, right? Having an accent's kind of nice.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
but awesome, awesome. Well, so what can you tell us about what's fun to do there? Like, you've been there for 30 years now. What would you recommend somebody that's never been there do first?
Oh my goodness. I'm in London, I've got so much to offer. It's really a vibrant capital. It's very cosmopolitan. And if you're a foodie, what I think is great about Britain is that they're not as protective of their, cuisine. So you've got lots and lots and lots and lots of different influences. And London is definitely the place for that. Obviously, there is rich heritage. The countryside is lovely. And I would imagine that for a lot of people who come from the States, when they arrive in, the UK, it's probably just a little bit bigger than Epcot, because everything is dinky. But it's got its charm and its quaint, and I'm sure you would love things like English gardens and tea rooms and all the traditional English stuff that people really appreciate.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely have to visit at some point and try all of that. Probably also the pubs too. You hear about them, you want to visit a couple. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Why? How did I forget the pubs? British institution. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, awesome. So, what can you tell us about what you do?
So, I spent my career doing, marketing and branding, for a number of organizations. And then about 5 years ago, I set up my own business and with the aim, of particularly helping smaller businesses uh, with their branding and their marketing to start off with. And the way I go about it is um, around understanding better the founder of the business. Because when you create your own business, when you one day, you wake up and you say, "That's it. I've had it. I've got an idea. I've got a dream. I want to really make it happen. I want to set up my business and put that out to the world." You put so much of yourself into that automatically you're going to put who you are in the brand of the business. So when I say brand, obviously when we hear the word brand, a lot of us sort of think logo and colors and that sort of thing. But it's actually a lot more than that. And a little bit of sort of history that help usually people remember actually what a brand is. It comes from an old Scandinavian language, and brand means actually to burn. And actually, when you think about the branding irons in, the cattle, and the ranching sort of history of the state, the brand is just to. Ooh, sorry. Siri wants to play as well.
Well, but as long as branding is less painful now than it was when it was just, cattle branding,
Yeah.
you don't make it that painful, right? It's pretty wait, okay.
I'm sorry, it's just like really weird. So the brand, that idea of, something that's it, I stake my, this animal is part of my herd. That's the same idea on, the industry of advertising coined that phrase in the 1950s, and they sort of started saying as a brand is, this sort of stamp that you put on products. But ultimately is, the same idea of putting an imprint in people's minds. So, I know a guy is your brand, but it's not just, the name I know a guy. It's all the interactions that your listeners and the people who know you and have met you will remember of Anthony. So they will not just remember, the name or the colors of, your background here, but all the interaction. They will remember how, you sort of are quite welcoming as a host, and all the other layers of interaction they will have with you over time.
Mhm. Okay, so before you were in marketing and stuff, and then you decided to do, this on your own. What triggered that?
Well, I was a big life, sort of sort of turning point. To be honest, I crashed. I had a burnout. Was, working full time in London, commuting long hours every day, and it went to sort of burning point. And it was really important for me at the time to sort of step back and then sort of say, okay, I'm, sort of successful, career person, but at the same time I'm a mom. And I think that's the bit that was not working at the time, is that I couldn't sort of honor my role as a mom as much as I wanted to.
Mhm.
And that, starts when you get stressed, and, God forbid that not many, people have got the level of stress that I experience in your, sort of audience. But when you get to that level of stress, the brain stops functioning properly and stop, finding ideas or, sort of overcoming the challenge. You just go like, but then, that taught me a very good lesson in terms of listening to, yourself, and so making sure that, you don't run on an empty tank. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to, perform all the roles that we all have in our lives. So then after, I recovered, that's when I sort of said, okay, I need to put some non-negotiables here, and one of the core non-negotiable was not sacrificing my role as a mother for a career. And so now I'm being my own boss. I've got that flexibility that allows me to do the things that I really enjoy. One, which is, to look after my daughter, but it's also to do servicing my clients in the best way that I can, and finding solutions that genuinely, help them up their game.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, that's awesome. It's good having a good why. I couldn't be there for my family, so I decided I'll build something that's gonna let me be there for my family. So that's awesome. So, what is it that you love most about what you're doing?
It's really that time when we spend with the person who created the business to actually go on. It's like an explorer's journey, because, you know, it's, I kind of, yeah, sort of explain what I do is that I hold a mirror to, the person, and people, we all are the same. We are so used to ourselves that we think that we've got nothing special about us, and there is nothing that is quite unique or is gonna be making sort of other people sort of say, oh wow, because we think that we're pretty much average, but actually everyone has got a unique set of talents, a unique mix of experience, and going, through these sort of layers and understanding what makes Anthony is the most enjoyable part of the journey for me.
Hmm. Yeah, I
It's
like that.
raining buckets here now. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but it's going for it big time.
So less of a summer rain now, more of a fall rain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Definitely like,
there it is.
oh.
So, Ben, been doing it for 5 years. What have you learned along the way? What's something that you would do different today if you had to start over?
Trust my intuition more.
Hmm.
And that's something that I'm doing, I'm sort of doing in parallel of, sort of expanding my services, is that we are, and I come from that industry as well, so hey, but with marketing, you've always got this something, that's the way to do things now, and this and that, the sort of shiny new object of saying, oh, I need to, sort of get this, and that's gonna get, me to the next level and stuff like that. And actually, yes, there are things that, are worth trying, but to me, it's, yeah, so having a good understanding of your intuition, and really let that gut instinct sort of speak for itself to balance, what the world is throwing at you, because it's so much, isn't it?
Okay, I got you. What's a good client for you then? What's your like average client look like? What's somebody that you're like, if you were introduced to them, you're going to be able to help them out?
Somebody who would be curious and willing to sort of do that exercise, because not everybody would like that, just gonna say no, I'm fine, and part of it is because well, people are in a very good place, so they don't need that sort of service anyway, or just don't want to see that. And there are lots of layers about that. There's that sense of, cultural reasons, like, no, you don't talk about yourself, because it's not acceptable, or upbringing, like you've been told, no, don't brag, don't do that. It's actually probably more of a British thing, that than I would say in America, people don't have the same sort of like inhibition about sort of talking about what they do, what they can do, and how they help people. Whereas in Britain, it's a bit, I'm not sure I should, you know, put myself so much out there. But then ultimately, what I've seen is that vulnerability, that if you open up and then you sort of like really look at, and in a very honest, sort of way, and sort of accepting way of who you are, there's this sort of like, oh no, maybe no, it's not for me. But yeah, it's really something that is quite rewarding to sort of uh, be willing to look into who you really are, because we are all genuinely unique.
Hmm.
We all have, we might have similar, ways of doing things, looking at things, the way we communicate and so on, because we all go through obviously, the same process of, upbringing, going to, school, college, high school, university, la 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 la. So there is an element of, the society shaping how we
Hmm.
think and how we do things. But ultimately, if you take that veneer off and then you look at the person and who they are, that's when you start getting the juicy bits and what makes people really stand out naturally. And that's the beauty of, sort of rooting the brand of the business into the person is that there is only one you. So if you really get that and you really capture what that you is about and you put that into the brand, then the brand naturally is going to be unique and distinctive.
Okay. Who's a good referral partner for you? People that, synergize well, are talking to the same kind of potential clients as you?
Um, Complementary. I'm currently working on a collaboration with another lady, and she's working on, sort of mindset and helping people taking away those, sort of subconscious blockages. So I would say, yeah, people who work in the mindset industry, coaches who would, sort of have brought, the business owner to a certain level in terms of business coaching, but they're not necessarily their forte to look at the brand. So I would come and complement whatever they would have helped the business owner doing on the business strategy, making sure their brand strategy is really well, sort of joined up with the business strategy. Or other aspects of, the business, like working with people who are specializing in systems and processes. So all the, sort of aspects and functions you can find in the business, I can, sort of nicely be referred by.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So, is there anything that I failed to ask that you wanted to mention?
Um, Maybe one thing, because we talked quite a bit about, the business founder and, smaller businesses. And it's true that it's the exciting bit because, and probably the rewarding bit for me because it's really at the beginning of, the story of the business and the company. So you can, sort of impact a lot, and also prevent people from making mistakes too far down the line. But at the same time, what I've noticed, especially since I've started doing business mentoring as well, is that my branding services can also help um, businesses that are struggling with managing their growth. So they would have come at a certain point in, their growth and their progress and their success. But it's what, we call, the growth pains, like what used to work when you were like working for yourself or working with a very close knit team might not, what the tools that you've got might not will not be the same and as useful when, now you are really at a stage where, you have got to organize yourself, structure yourself in different teams, covering different functions, hiring more staff. And if you haven't got a very clear grasp as to what you stand for and who you are here to serve, if you don't, number one, have that clarity and therefore you cannot communicate that clearly and effectively with your, growing number of people who work for you, then the cracks will start appearing and you're going to have problems in terms of communication, messaging, and just, yeah, everything being joined up. So it's actually good at that point to sort of revisit the brand and then consolidate it around what exactly it was at the beginning of this creation of the business and how it's evolved, and make sure that the brand is still fit for purpose at this point in time of the growth of the company.
Okay. If people are looking for more help with that, or people are looking to, network with you or partner with you, what's the best way for them to contact you?
LinkedIn, I would say, you just type Sylvie Barr and I'll pop in, pop up. My business website, which is holisto.uk, where you can, sort of hear a bit more about my story and my services, and also, get in touch with me.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'll be sure to get those links up when we post this so everybody
That would be
doesn't have to
lovely.
hunt for it. They can find you right away. I do recommend you reach out to her. She is a wealth of knowledge. She could fill a book, and you probably should. You should probably write a book about it. There's a lot there that you need to you need to get to more people. So absolutely reach out to her. If you're more shy and you want an introduction, feel free to ask me. I'm more than happy to introduce you. But other than that, Sylvie, it was great having you on. I really appreciate you taking the time today during your rainstorm. um, but if anybody out there wants to also be interviewed, feel free to reach out to me. My link tree will be in the description as well. My calendar link and all my socials are there, so feel free to reach out to me anywhere. But other than that, Sylvie, I appreciate you coming on. You have an awesome day, and let's all get out there and meet some more people. All right?
Much. And yeah, enjoy your day. We're just starting your day. Here
Okay.
it's like mid-afternoon, so I'm gonna be off to get a nice cup of English tea.
Well, I'm doing American coffee, so
All right.
all right. You have a good one. Bye.
Bye.